Morning, everybody. Just getting the chat set up, yeah. There we go. Not really sure what to talk about today. One thing I was thinking, because I didn't really expect people to randomly get into this, but since yesterday someone randomly found it, um, and I know I'll have to explain this anytime someone actually gets into the stream, but my thought is if people do watch this, I think it'd be cool for those people to ask like a thought-provoking question, and then I'll like talk about that for a bit. Because I think that'd be kind of an interesting way to transition from me just talking about my own life a little bit into being a little bit more philosophical, I guess. I don't know. But, I don't know. I got up a little earlier today, so that's nice. Which is surprising because I got to sleep a lot later. Think so. Yesterday? Oh, the night before yesterday, I fell asleep at like 11:30 and woke up at 10:30. And today, I fell asleep at like 3 and woke up at 9:30. So I don't know what's up with that, but I'm not gonna complain about waking up a little earlier. I'm probably gonna complain about it later, to be honest. But also, I ran out of orange juice, or I had a little bit of orange juice left and a little bit of pineapple juice left, and I just put them both in a glass, and it doesn't taste great. I'll tell you that. Um, it's not the best consistency of flavors, but I've done that combo for an alcoholic beverage, but I've added other stuff as well. So just by itself, it's not that great. Um, yeah, 2 days in a row. That's pretty good for streaming. Um, I had something I was gonna talk about. I got one of my fantasy drafts tonight. I really need to do a lot of research for that because I haven't been paying attention too much to the off season for the NFL and stuff like that. But uh, yeah, it's a small league. I've got I think I talked about it yesterday. I've got my league with two of my friends, and then we have an auto draft team, and then we're gonna pick like a punishment kind of thing that the other two people have to do if we win. And if we lose to the auto draft team, like the auto draft team just wins the whole thing, then we each have to do our own punishment. So that'll be interesting. Um, but the teams are massive. There's like two quarterbacks, three running backs, three wide receivers, a tight end, three flexes, or two flexes, um, and then normal kicker uh, defense. But and then the 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 kicker, no pun intended, is that we only have two bench slots and then a reserve slot. So um, it means that like you have to weigh the value of if your player's on a buy and you can keep them, because that means that you might have to drop somebody else if too many buys lined up. Yeah. I've been trying to think. I don't know what day. I think it was Friday. So I think if I work out today, actually no. I mean it's already been 7 days. I've consistently been doing something every day for 7 days. Most of the time I've been going to the gym, but problem at the start of the week was that the UCF gym wasn't open. So I was going. Um, my cousin Dan, who I live with, uh, goes to LA Fitness, so I was going with him. I the gym's okay. It's not really the same as the college gym. The college gym is just so nice. Um, so I hadn't. I went a couple times with him just on guest passes, but and I think there was like one day that I just like swam in the pool or something. Um, but swimming's great. It's one of the best workouts, and I am awful at it. I always claim that since I grew up playing soccer, my legs are too dense and they sink. So then I'm bad at swimming because I don't float. Which, to be honest, is true. And it's probably just me having bad form. But like if I try to float on my back, my legs just tank downwards. Um, um, I don't know how to fix that because it feels like if I raise my legs, that's gonna push my head down. I don't want that to happen. So I don't know. Sure, some professional swimmer would be crying if I told them that. I'm trying not to like brush my hair or anything before this. I just think that adds to the I'm just waking up aesthetic, which is very true. I am just waking up. Um, but also, my hair kind of just made a shape that makes sense, which is kind of funny. It's a little more poofier than I would normally have, but uh, I was kind of surprised by that. I looked in the mirror and was like, oh, that's not bad. So here I am. I definitely need to shave today though. That's a little too scruffy on the neck. I've got a wedding tomorrow. Now I always debate with myself about whether I feel like I look better in formal clothes with a beard or with a clean shave. Because if it's a clean cut beard, I think that looks pretty good and it can look nice with formal clothes. But at the same time, like I think can't really go wrong with just a clean shave. So I don't know. This is cool. It's a cool wedding though because it's gonna be outside at like a one of the, like an orchard or something. So I can't wear like full dress like formal attire. I get sweaty as it is inside, let alone out in the sun. That's one of the biggest problems. Um, if I work out before I go into work, then I take a shower, and I mean this problem still happens if I don't go to the gym, but it's worse if I go to the gym. I'll take a shower, and then like that just makes my body temperature a little warmer, because of all the water and stuff. And then I change, and when I'm walking, because I park near the gym, but then I'm still a little bit of a walk from where I work on campus, um, and just being outside for that short amount of time, I get completely sweaty again by the time I'm in the lab. To the point where I've started using my umbrella if it's like a bright day with 90-degree weather. I'll walk into campus with my umbrella open, and I don't care who stares at me because it's like I don't want to be sweaty in the lab. So, um, yeah, that's what I got to deal with. And everyone knows that it's Florida, so it's not going to get cold until January. So, It'd be like 100 degrees in December. Nobody will blink bat an eye at it. I played Catan last night. Um, Try to do that every Thursday. I got a group that plays, but um, we have this stupid extra thing that if because if you play Catan, there's 5 different resources. There's ore, sheep, wheat, wood, and brick. And then there's also desert tiles, which just don't give you anything. But we decided that's dumb. So if we have extra numbers, we'll put them on the desert tiles, and we say that gives you sand, which it doesn't do anything. It's just a bragging right that you have the most sand. And somebody broke the record last night. They got 21 sand in a game, so that was pretty impressive. Um, they didn't win. There's a point where you realize that you just got to go all in on sand, and then you do, and it was a benefit. Now, I didn't win. I came in last, but sometimes the numbers aren't there. It's probably good that I don't have the best mic, because I know there's a large portion of the population that like hates the sound of people like smacking lips and stuff. And I'm eating peanut butter, so that's kind of impossible to not do. If I had like an actual ASMR mic in front of me, well, actually, all the mukbang stuff and things going around on YouTube, I don't really understand that too much, but all of that kind of thrives on the idea that people enjoy that sound. I don't get it, but I definitely like ASMR. I like the kind of calm talking and little ticking noises and things like that. But when it comes to like water squishy noises, it's kind of it's weird. Yeah, that's gross. I'm pretty sure that you guys have seen this on, or anybody's seen this on stream before, but my sunglass rack is made out of 3D glasses that I hot glued together. And I made that back in high school, and it's still going. So I'm pretty proud of that. And also, because the 3D glasses are bigger than sunglasses, like they're wider. So they're the perfect size for sunglasses to sit on. And then the top rows have the bottom row like earpieces, and they can hold like Ray-Bans. The bottom ones are a little rough. I usually have I can't point at it. What's going on? Can't get the angles right. There we go. I usually have like normal wraparound sunglasses that I use for running, but when my recent pair broke, I went to get more sunglasses, and I ended up buying ones that look like Ray-Bans that just hold on to my face a little bit better. I kind of regret those because they were like polarized, but then the polarizedness started peeling off in the 7 days I was on vacation, and I bought them the day before I left for vacation. So that was not worth $15. Like I could have bought some Walmart sunglasses for like $10 and had them last for a year and a half. So I don't know, but I mean, I still use them. Just looks a little stupid because they're like orange tint, and like one of the eyes, the tint just there's like a hole. The tint isn't there, and I can kind of see it out of the corner of my eye when I'm wearing them, and it's super annoying. I think we're playing trios late tonight on Mitch's channel. I do have the draft, and that's at like 9. So whenever that's done, I'm gonna get on. But um, yeah, I'm gonna play in arena trios with Mitch on his channel, which is Mitch Robs, Mitch underscore ROBBS, and we did pretty good last time. Um, we were like, I think we won like 4 out of 5 games, so that was pretty crazy. But as you play in that game mode, it gets harder because you keep going up in the division, and then you're playing people who have also gotten to that division. So we'll see if we can get to the Champions League, and if we can do that, then we could technically play in cash cups and stuff. But I don't think we would win money. You have to get in like the top 40, which it's still cool that there's that many ability, like that many slots to earn money, but in the US there's a lot of people. We got a couple songs that I've been playing around on guitar. Um, Probably the most technical one that I'm trying to learn is a song called "Sweet Tooth" by Intervals. Which, if you know Intervals, they're a mainly instrumental band, but I think they're technically djent, um, but they're pretty. I guess I would say happy sounding for djent. Like a lot of djent bands are kind of like that dark sound, um, but Intervals is pretty like bubbly in a sense, or like upbeat and fast paced and stuff. Um, and then I'm trying to learn a Metallica song called "The Day That Never Can't," day that never comes. I think. Um, Mess up the title probably, but I'm pretty good at singing that. I think I've talked about this. Like, I'm getting some deja vu, but um, it's kind of weird for me because I can hit the notes like really well, um, but I can only do it if I'm like screaming because that's how he's singing it in the song, and I get really self conscious if I'm in my room and I think people are like home next to me or above me or something. Um, so I can't really hit the notes when I'm playing it on guitar, but then when I sing along with it in the car, which I mean maybe it's a bias, maybe it's the fact that the music is over top of it and I can't hear how bad I'm singing it, but I don't think that's the case. I'm usually pretty good at realizing when I'm singing awful. Um, but yeah, in the car I can hit them fine. I mean, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of straining. So and then I've got one song that I kind of sidelined for a while. I really like it. It's called um, "Where I've Been" by Rival Sons. and I've been kind of revisiting that. But I really like that song. I love it, and it's got a really cool kind of like um, walking, picking pattern that like builds up tension and then just like goes really fast for a couple seconds to relieve it again. So I really like that, and I was surprised that I knew more of the song on guitar than I realized, because I can pretty much play the whole song. I just need to remember the words. Because if I remember the words, like there's certain parts where the chords aren't the same pattern, and if I just remember the words, then I know where those are. Um, so that's something I can play around with, because people don't realize like I play guitar. I play guitar a lot. I've done a bunch of covers on this channel, but if I'm being honest, in terms of the amount of songs that I say that I know, and the amount of songs that I actually can play all the way through, um, it's not a very favorable ratio. There's a lot of songs that I know little parts of that that was my favorite part or whatever, and I never pull the trigger and learn the rest of the song. And that's one of the things with the interval song is that I just like the whole song, like all of it, and it's super intense and fast paced the entire time. But I think if I can get myself to learn that song, even in like a simplified version of it, then that might give me some motivation to go through and just kind of clean up all the other songs that I don't know all the way through. Because there's a bunch of them that like I know most of the song, and I just never learned like never corrected myself on what the words are for the last few verses or like the last part, or I left a lot of solos out back when I was still learning stuff, and nowadays those would probably be easy for me, but I just don't get around to it. um, but yeah, that's something I'm definitely trying to do. But first step is to just learn the one song and see if it can happen. That one's got a lot of finger tapping, so um, it's something. It's a little bit of new territory, but I want to break that ice in metaphorical ice, because that'll open up a lot of opportunity for me to learn other songs. Um, and yeah, I'm just trying to get a feel for every kind of technique I can on guitar, because I'd like to be able to improvise stuff. I'd like to be able to make up my own stuff that's impressive. Which I the stuff I've made in the past is fine, but it's usually more like lyric based, or at least vocal based. Um, I'd like the guitar to stand on its own a little more. And that's really where the constant practice and constant like I need to practice improvising. I need to play like just have music playing and kind of wing it on top of it. But I don't really get around to doing that too much. Um, but yeah, that's a something I should do more often. I think I enjoy that. Or even I've got the looper. I could just loop something and then start improvising over top of it. But I just it's so much work. It's really not that much work, but like compared to just picking up the acoustic guitar and playing, setting up an amp, everything like that is just I don't know. It's exhausting. I don't care. I have this tiny little acoustic amp, and I've got my pedal. The pedal has to be perpetually plugged in because I never replace the batteries, and um, the amp has to be plugged in. Then I've got to get two different auxiliary cables or the banana plug cables to hook up the guitar to the foot pedal and then the foot pedal to the amp. So I could technically have everything wired except for plugging the guitar in, but then that would look messy in my room, and I don't know. It's a whole ordeal. Um, But yeah, I can't really think of too much else to talk about. I've already done like 25 minutes or something, which is pretty on par for what I've done the past few times, or the past two times, because there's only been two other ones. But yeah, so if you feel like asking me philosophical questions and you can catch me when I'm streaming, then that is welcomed. Um, if you're worried about me having an unpredictable sleep schedule, which is definitely a real concern, there's a notification feature if you follow. But then again, this is really just going to be me talking. So I don't really care if people watch it, but if people do watch it, then we'll figure something out. But yeah, that's where I'm going to call it. So thanks for watching if you did, and I'll see you next time.